Alright. Hello, hello. It's me, Salmonella, your favorite fresh fishy streamer. I got everything ready and thought I was being so thorough and immediately thought, oh, I should have music for this. So now I need to look up how to find royalty-free music so I can have something in the background for this. Um, oh gosh. So here we are back with Awful Hospital by Bogleach. Still getting back into the flow of things, so sorry if I'm scatterbrained. Uh, all right, let's get back into it. After a lengthy but largely uneventful trek, you arrive at the fetid pit known as the Pus Marsh. At its center, a glistening structure of congealed rubbery pus sways softly and subtly back and forth, emitting a sound like someone stirring wet custard. Worms writhe and giggle on the surrounding banks, but seem either unwilling or unable to get too close. Staffy, you brought those friends I saw in my vision. That's amazing, Maggie. How is your mistress? The transmigration approaches, but she's the same old chatterbox. She'll be very happy to have one last visit. I don't have to go inside that thing, do I? Now don't be shy. You're a fully grown world. Just what we needed. More animal life. I'll be staying out here. You follow Maggie into the sticky, dripping hut. Protruding from the center of the mucky floor is some sort of humongous face? Is that a face? Whatever it's connected to, the rest is buried under the slime. You can faintly hear a soft, repetitive sound from somewhere deep below, like somebody laboriously shoveling their way through mud. Every now and then, a sloppy gurgling erupts from the thing's single orifice. It smells like rot. Your rot. You bury the thought quickly. There's no sense in suddenly freaking out just because you're surrounded by the oppressive walls of rancid juices from your own festering carcass. That would be plain rude in a total stranger's house. My goodness, Magatha, you're positively glowing. Oh, ad starts in 3 minutes, so go get your drinks when you need to. You're too sweet, Staffy. But who have we here? Is that the whole little world I smell? It's about time. I was beginning to worry you'd get too sidetracked in the catacombs. You sure did a number on that baby heads, ruffian. But oh, look at me, prattling on before you can even get a word in. You must have so many questions, child. Conversation mode. How can you know so much? Oh, I can tap into many information channels. Scent, vibration, layer ripplings. I can even eavesdrop on the gossip of those nasty worms, though I can't say I appreciate the unrotten little hooligans' naughty vocabularies, or their mangling of the Queen's proper squirmlish. When I was a wee instar, we enunciated our wriggles, and we certainly never ended an undulation with a writhe. Oh, of course not. What's with the worms? They are a basal manifestation of life concept. Their forms are infinite. You and I are, in a sense, only very specialized worm kind. Huh, okay, so a mysterious book, you say? Interesting. That's for somebody with an optical sense. Apprentice Maggie has been my eyes since I embedded. She will no doubt be happy to take a look at it. Okay, do you know anything about Celia? Well, fungi are close sisters to us worm kind, but she is a secretive one. I only know her chemoscent, that she is fairly troubled. Would keep an eye on her for both her sake and yours. I see. What about of course, the anomaly. It's a strange flavor indeed, seeping down from the northwestern tubes. The worms say they've tasted something like it before, and the guarls and ripplers are avoiding the zone altogether. Not that we'll miss the likes of those brutes. I'm afraid I can't pinpoint its exact location, but you can as an unripened branchination of this very world. Take a moment to turn around. Slowly. Uh, alright? I. Oh! Ugh! You felt it, didn't you? A juicy surge of nausea. Only you will taste it. That is your compass. Great. Hey Doc, welcome to Awful Hospital. Awful Hospital is have you been to an Awful Hospital stream before? I've been doing this for a little while. I'm just taking any excuse to take a sip of water, have a conversation, cuz I love this comic so much, but doing all the voices is tiresome. Okay, so Awful Hospital is a webcomic by Bog Leach, who is a incredible genius. And Bog Leach is like he writes articles, he does science, he collects stuff. He's a Renaissance man. Bog Leach is a Renaissance man. And this is his webcomic about a young woman named Miss Green whose son is sick and he gets kidnapped by an interdimensional hospital and she has to find him. And she has the concepts. I love this comic. I love this comic so much that I'm streaming it and forcing everyone to watch it with me. Bogleach has noticed me. He re-skeeted me on Blue Sky, and I've sent him stuff on Tumblr. So he knows I exist, and that makes me so incredibly happy. He's basically a wonderful. He's so, like, if you try to think of a first word to describe someone, weird is one of the first words that would come up to describe Bogleach. But another one of the first words that would come up to describe Bogleach is kind. And he is just such a compelling human being. I could talk about Bogleach for hours. I'm actually planning, I do want to do TTRPG streams, and one of the ones I want to run is Mortasheen, which is Bogleach's TTRPG. So if you ever want to do incredible, horrible things with me, just let me know. Alright, let me take a sip of tea. Ah, that is warm and soothing to the throat. Let me immediately reverse that effect by taking a fat vape hit. And now a sip of water. Sorry, YouTube friends who get stuck with the coughing fit. Everybody else is stuck in an ad break. Hang on, let me do something real quick. Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm just having a coughing fit from taking a blinker. All right. Where were we? Isn't it? Follow the nausea, and you'll find what you seek. But then what? I mean, do you know The embalming machine, bless his nasty little heart. He is indeed your one certain ticket back to the hospital, and he may very well keep his word, but he is under frightful pressure. There's never any telling what he'll stoop to for the sake of his many investors, or his employers, who are quite a bit beyond the grasp of your sensory range, but nor are they of any direct concern. You have been sidetracked enough from your true dilemma. Do you mean your offspring? Yes. I'm afraid I know little more than yourself. The worms whisper of a strange miasma, a chemical reverberation wafting from the hospital and slowly but surely bleeding through the zonal barriers. It is this which has drawn comparisons to the nameless contamination of our own realm. Hardly surprising, given your biological relationship. I do not doubt that this quest you have undertaken will provide integral pieces to your greater puzzle. I hope so. I don't know if I can help him, but I need to see him. I don't care what happens. Every second I can't is like a knife in my back. I need to be there, no matter what. You certainly do. I do not want to frighten you, but there is something amiss about the hospital. You don't say. Especially amiss. Not merely your son's condition. They should not have separated you, and under normal circumstances they would not. Nor would you be left in such confusion, or have needed to respawn as many times as I am smelling. I dare say there may be outside forces interfering with their operations, perhaps even the very perception of the situation. To what end, I cannot imagine. I wish I could offer anything more reassuring, but I cannot predict distant outcomes. At the very least, you are not presently losing time. Return to the hospital, and it will be as you left it. Thank you. That's one small relief, at least. I must say, it has been a delight to chat with such a compassionate world. You are truly as sweet as the many flavors leaking from your remnants. Thanks. Now, if you'll excuse me, the transmigration has begun. Maggie, take care of these little ones. Can I just ask if... Bzzz. So cool. The millions of tiny buzzing flies quickly clear from the slimy dwelling, leaving Magatha a collapsed and silent husk. You're pretty sure that wasn't how metamorphosis is supposed to work, but whatever. Well, looks like she's dead and I'm out of a job. What a beautiful carcass. She'd be so proud. Oh yeah, smells good too. It really does. That's it, I'm leaving. We'll catch up. You step outside the putrescent hut for a breath of slightly less fetid air, and notice something slightly awry. Oh, you want some, huh? I'll take you all on, elongated scalawags. Celia? So it's true. The old dingbat finally croaked. Told you so. Told you guys! You're surrounded by a slobbering crowd of ravenous worms and quite possibly extremely doomed, but through a rolling sea of mental chatter, one dated, corny, cultural joke bubbles to the surface and refuses to be ignored. I don't suppose you guys are here for a nice game of pinochle? The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. An ominous chant rises from the oozing horde, and a huge striped worm slinks forward. Pinochle, pinochle, pinochle. You just had to say it, didn't you? Celia's a lot more British today. What? What did I say?
Ahem. As per the noble traditions of our honourable four-squirmers, the sacred battle of Pinochle shall hereby commence. Party A, the stunted biped and its minuscule cohorts, have formally challenged Party B, all of the worms, for sole claim over the nutritive spoils of the marsh hag's demise.
The worms go wild, hissing and gurgling cheers of excitement and hunger. Is that all? No sweat. Not even a world can beat worms at their own game, dear.
And as per those very same completely real and authentic traditions, we are helplessly bound to, beyond any personal responsibility, the losing party shall be honoured via consumption by the winning party across all existing and potential iterations of reality spectrum. May their flesh be sweet and their concept cause absorbeth with dignity.
The worms cannot contain their enthusiasm. They whoop and shriek, flailing like an ocean of unmanned fire hoses. You could swear one of them literally explodes at one point. This isn't all the time with you guys, is it? No?
Yes. Oh, yes. Always.
But whom shall it be? Whom shall slither forth to represent all wormkind in this noblest battle of battles? Suddenly a familiar visage rises from the crowd. Mold!
No! Could it be? Could it truly be? It is, folks. None other than the legendary Mildred M. Sucker, our undefeatable, all-time, indisputable ultimate star champion of our grand game of all games, right here, right now, by some simply incomprehensible twist of fate. I can scarcely bear to contemplate how utterly humiliating it would have been if anyone had ever failed a rare opportunity to incapacitate this invincible grand mistress of Pinochle, only to, hypothetically of course, find themselves subsequently facing off against her at her very own game. Whew, I need a sip of tea. The mold sucker is so cute. Mold sucker. Oh my god, I forgot. So we haven't even met Willis yet. But there was a Willis Kickstarter for a plush, and I wanted it so bad, but I just did not have the money to spend on yet another plush toy Kickstarter. I'm going to be so hype when we get to Willis, but Willis is like several hundred pages away. Willis is my cute baby son. I love him. I love him so much. I certainly hope he does not turn evil. The crowd erupts into an awkwardly forced cacophony of exaggerated, derisive laughter and a number of other less describable but no less mocking sounds. All are silent as our returning champion ponders her first critical move. This is a delicate moment, folks, one that can easily make or break the outcome of an entire Pinochle match. Slump. Unbelievable, folks! Against all conceivable odds, the Queen of Cards has narrowly pulled off her 9,999,999th signature first turn victory. Truly an historic moment in the glory and perseverance of all wormkind. Having plunged into the stomach of the monstrous worm, you feel that nasty itch of digestive enzymes insulting your exposed skin. That familiar itch. You think back to the days when missing a rental payment was one of your biggest worries. Now you've experienced being slowly digested at least twice, and that's only the twice that you know of. You hate everything right now. You're pretty sure everything hates you back.
Can't we just cut our way out or use that repellent stuff? No, this thing is easily AC 60. Oh, of all the unrotten luck. Staffy and I were Mag's friends. That ought to be us out there eating her corpse. Don't worry, we may be leaving lovely corpses of our own shortly. Reckon you're quite right. Lovely weather for it. What kind of attitude is that? I do not intend to let us die here. Not in my own dead body. Could have fooled me. How was I supposed to know? Nothing here makes sense. We shouldn't even be the same size. I've just about had it with all this morbid shit, including you. Rumble. I just want to say, I appreciate how you could have cut off my head back there, but you didn't. I think we're even now, but I gotta go be on my way before the rest of my brains notice your absence and the old reflexes take the rein back. Besides, by now someone has probably invoked Pinochle once more. My people need me. Okay, bye. Mildred! Go, Mildred! I need to sip multiple beverages. Oh my god. That is my flow. I turn tea into piss. See? I told you it was worth sparing that ugly thing. Wow, yeah, you sure did. So, where are we? Looks like the Bone Flats. Actually quite a bit closer to our goal. No wonder I feel a little sicker than usual, even considering where we just were. I think I need to lie down a while. Good place as any to set up a camp. I'll get the fire going. The fire? Yeah, okay, set fire to my dead guts. Sure, why not? Who has marshmallows? Oh, I do. I was joking. You know what? I would love some. You're taking a breather. If you want to reorganize inventories, ask party members any questions, or hash out any plans, and now's your time. You double, triple, and quadruple check that with everyone that marshmallows are not, in fact, made from any locally grown gelatin, or that the bizarre-looking, bubbly-sounding fire isn't dangerously radioactive or anything. Not that either could be much worse than anything else you've been wallowing in as of late. You're just getting past the smell of your own giant burning hair cells and starting to relax a little when your companions begin to bombard you with questions. Oh, look at how cute! So, what's your name, anyhows? Huh? Oh, it's... Don't be rude now, Maggie. This is a whole unripened world you're talking to. It's only proper to address her as such. So, world, what did you do with yourself before all this hubbub? And that's why she's still Miss Green at this point. This and that. Odd jobs. I was just starting school, actually. Seems funny now. I was kind of considering something in medicine. Medicine is no laughing matter. We're certainly grateful for the architecture. Yeah. How does that work exactly? Didn't you say we weren't necessarily walking around in my body? Like, not in the really literal physical way. I can answer that. It's just your basic perceptual osmosis coil, like when a quifflement experiences flume dribble, and the leakage manifests a new stunk wandle in a conjoined existo branch. Kid stuff, really. Okay. I think what we really ought to know is what actually brought you here. Now that you mention it, what did Magatha mean about your offspring, world? You decide there's not much reason to hide anything from these, people after what you've already been through together. I have a son, barely a year old. He got sick and it kept getting worse, worse than I thought was possible. Nothing helped. Nobody we saw had ever heard of symptoms like his, but they didn't seem like they cared either. I know doctors have to keep up a professional tone, but I knew some of these doctors. This wasn't even like them. How could anyone be so casual when a child is falling apart on them? I mean, almost literal. Ugh. You gag slightly. Your head swims for a moment and the memory fades. You suddenly don't even know what you were talking about exactly. Focus, hon. What were his symptoms? I can't even. It's like there's different answers to the question at the same time. What's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you. You're just all topsy-turvy in a layer range you don't quite belong to. Who knows what might be interfering with your realities and whatnots? What can you remember? I remember green? Green what? Green what? Green everything. Green coming out of him, patterns on him, patterns around him, a smell. How is a smell green? And light? He was glowing? It didn't seem possible. It was like a horror movie. Why the hell didn't they care? These doctors of yours, what did they say? Nonsense. Garbage. Up his vitamins. Somebody needs a nap. It was like they were just going through the motions, reading off a script, like they almost didn't totally connect what I was showing them. They all go through this at that age, they'd say. No, they don't. I'm pretty sure I'd know if they did. Everyone would know. Calm down, dear. What did they try to do for him? Everything. Injections, pills, creams. I got so desperate, I let them talk me into herbs and magnets and junk. I know it was foolish, but nothing was making a difference. The last thing we tried was an injection. They said it could be an allergy, that he might need a steroid. What kind of allergies make your skin grow too fast? I don't know what happened then. I think we went home. I put him to bed. The next thing I know, I woke up in that terrible hospital. How terrible exactly? Horrible. Disgusting. That creepy little germ doctor, no offense, didn't seem to know his ass from a hole in the wall. And they had a lot of holes in the walls. I killed a rock in one of them. It was just like that weird cluelessness and incompetence we're getting from our regular doctors, cranked up to some cartoonish level. Nightmarish. Asinine. I think I got murdered by a sandwich once. I wish any of this made sense to me. I really do. It doesn't sound right at all. Sounds to me like some weirdo wires getting crossed. Maybe something's discombobulated in your zones. No small wonder the hospital got involved. What did Magatha mean about something interfering with them? Ain't nobody's perfect, especially not when you're trying to manage completely different zones and all, but the hospital folks shouldn't be as useless as you're saying. Come to think of it, I can't shake the sense that I should understand more about this than I'm currently managing. Your child's illness, our zone's unknown contamination, the hospital's deterioration. It's almost certainly connected. Beverage time. Night seems to fall, which you're assured is merely a natural cycle of luminescent fungi. You don't bother to ask why you can hear crickets chirping. You continue to chat, though you feel a slight sense of unease, a particularly weird sort of presence. Do you have any guesses what could be going on? What kind of thing can cause interference like that? I'm afraid I can't even begin to speculate. The perception range is quite large. Infinity large. Awful lot of weirdos out there. Warp ticklers, half shamblers, furlers, folders, rebirthanizers, cones, pseudocones, gel funnels, billy wiggles, bellops, the gull, gramps, rare pepes. Everything that can perceive something also perceives something that perceives something. Exponentation like. Everybody keeps talking about perception. I still don't get it. Things exist because you perceive them. You exist because things perceive you. Nothing to it. That doesn't make any sense. What happens to someone if there's nothing perceiving it? Ain't possible. On some layer or another, even your marshmallow is thinking thoughts. Great. I think you've confused her enough, Maggie. We should all try to relax and set off for the what's it after a good rest. Celia, you've been awfully quiet. Are you feeling well? Not really a campfire banter mold. Actually, I need to go, void some cytoplasm. Hey, leave me that weird book you were... Blah, that's not Maggie's voice. Hey, leave me that weird book they were talking about. Maybe it's important. Celia sits up abruptly and slinks off behind the nearest outcropping of bone, leaving the strange book you had her carry. Read the creepy book. Oh, right, the book. I had the weirdest urge to buy it, chatter in my head. The store guy said he couldn't read it without blacking out for some reason. He kept it chained up. Simple latch, ain't even locked. But yeah, the old ganglia are buzzing something fierce. This thing ain't from around here, that's for sure. But can you read it? Alone? Probably bust me wide open. I can filter the concept for you if we take it simultaneous like, but we're both gonna need a good nap to cool off. And? Well, from a cursorial type glance, I think you might have got bamboozled. This reads like something just for lil uns. Lil uns? It's a book for whippersnappers. I don't know whose, or rather what's whippersnappers, but it ain't exactly an autobiography. Every other time I doubt those little voices, I end up regretting it. Kitty book or not, they must have known it was important, right? They obviously wouldn't make me buy a weird alien baby book just because it had a neat cover or something. Let's do it. Alright, let's see if this link works, or if I'm going to have to change the capture window.
There once was a beautiful, perfect birthday cake. And there was never anything else. Everything was fine. The cake enjoyed being the only thing there ever should have been until, without warning, it began to feel unwell. As the innocent, sweet cake grew increasingly ill, things began being that were not cake. Terrible things. Awful garbage things with dumb baby nonsense thoughts like, how can there be cake before anyone exists to make it? And whose birthday is it anyhow? The cake was very rightfully angered by these filthy clown ideas from the stink brains of gross tools. But nobody even cared. Things kept flagrantly existing and remorselessly not being the cake, all right in front of the poor cake's precious virginal eyes. Everything became ruined and disgusting forever. Soon, all that remained of the cake were a few small crumbs. But the crumbs remembered.
Holy shit. Oh my god, I love Bogleach so much. I'm gonna clip that. And put that on TikTok and put that on YouTube and make everybody interested in fucking... This is just the start. I'm gonna do this with Homestuck too, because Homestuck TOO, not Homestuck 2, TWO, because fuck Homestuck 2. But no, I'm gonna, uh, brain freeze. I'm going to, so today I'm going to do about an hour of several different games just to keep things fresh and moisturized inside my brain. And, once we do an hour of this, we're going to do an hour of Homestuck Friend Sim. And I'm going to introduce y'all to trolls, and we're going to slowly work our way through the Homestuck games. And I'm going to force every single one of you to meet my favorite trolls, and we're going to talk about our troll sonas, and we're going to take the Homestuck personality quiz, and we're going to talk about our god tiers. Anyway, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with Bog Leech stuff, because right now I'm making you watch Awful Hospital, but then I'm gonna start posting links to his articles, and then you're gonna start watching him stream too, and then I'm gonna run a Mortasheen game, and everybody's gonna know about Bog Leech. Okay, yes, I have hyperfixations, maybe. So we read the book. One hell of a book. You have little time to ponder the short, cryptic storybook before, just as Maggie predicted, the two of you completely pass out. It's the first sleep you've been aware of in a long time. You dream about many of the things you've seen, and some of the things you haven't. Yet. Dr. Mann, Dr. Miser, Dr. Phage, Dr. Tori. I don't know if they've named her in the series, in the comic yet, but I know that's Dr. Tori, and I know that's Molly. BBQ girl! And those crumbs of the cake. I know what they're called. We're gonna find out what they're called soon. These guys have a name as well, but I cannot recall it. Oh, there's the kidney stone, a duck. Not sure what this one is, not sure what this one is, and this is the contamination. Hello, friend. You are violently awoken by the sheer intensity of your own final nonsensical dream vision and the indescribable sense of horror and revulsion that came with it. Your heart races and you almost feel like you're about to vomit, but the memory is already fading. You feel as refreshed as you're probably ever going to be, and subtly throbbing nausea tells you to head north, where you abruptly come across another river, or perhaps part of the same one you already crossed. Hey there! You certainly look like you could all use a nice, refreshing swim. The flailing, rubbery worms speak in high-pitched unison. They sound as though they're constantly trying not to laugh. Ugh, rapid worms. Grizzly devils, if there ever were. Aw, come on, give us a chance. We'll be quick, we promise. Can't we make a bridge out of something? We have before. Even Mildred would have feared a squiggle of rapid worms. They won't completely leave liquid, but their reach is long and they are voracious. We won't even get close enough to fight them, let alone cross before we're sucked apart. Sucked apart? Sucked apart. You decide to explore a little more. There's no way around the cliffs to the east, but to the west the river picks up and abruptly plunges into the jagged bone valley before. Below, the worms follow. What if we made a bridge and then used that worm repellent on it? Then the bridge itself, at the very least, won't be eaten anytime soon. Can we put the attracted on something and distract them? Rapid worms are rapid. It's doubtful they can be distracted for long unless something can draw them away in a hurry. Maggie, Staff, do you have any ideas? Not unless you need some broken biomatter mended. I can direct a small swarms of dipterites, of course. Swarms of what? The reproductive stage of meastocytes. I need to find out how to pronounce that word. Don't look at my, don't look at my stuff.
Myiasis.
Myiasis. So myosites. The reproductive stage of myosites. You were there when Magatha was reborn into roughly 60 million of them. Can we put the attractant on those? That stuff's pretty toxic. They'd probably croak quite quick and serve as nothing but a quick appetizer for our vermiform antagonators there. Mighty tasty, though. Not just as a base for marshmallows. Oh. Assemble a decoy. The cacophony of ideas intrudes upon your mind, slowly fit together into a coherent, if bizarre, notion. Maggie, this is going to sound weird, but I'm going to put the worm attractant on this bubble suit thing. Do you think you could fill it with flies and have it draw the worms over the falls? That all? Oldest trick in the book. Stand back. Sepsidae! Faraday! Mythicomiidae! Woohoo! Existin'! The fly-filled membrane does a jaunty dance and a few flips and a series of stretches. Wowee! All this being thing sure is neato beans! Why is it doing that? Oh, wow! Hey there! You're pretty much my mom! Wow, thanks for having the idea of me and all. Existence really something else. What can I do for you while I'm still a thing? Nothing. We just need you to take a plunge off of this here pus fall and get ate up by some rapid worms on account of our friend here's powerful attached to this here particular mortal coil. Oldest trick in the book. No sweat. Wait a minute. Are you like a person? Is this okay? I am now, sure, thanks to you guys. Then I'll just utterly and permanently cease to be on all perceptual levels. No sweat. Jeez, no, we can think of something else. Aw, come on, Mom. Other Mom is cool with it. Can you not call me that? It's kind of personal. Oh, no sweat. How's Mother? Mama? Mommy? If I'm only ever going to experience this self thing for a few moments, I can at least have the courtesy to get that right. No, it's not that. Why does this work this way? We didn't need to bring something to life. Oh dear. I gotta take a sip of water before I read all that. Ooh. Ah. Oh dear, you're still not understanding. Everything works this way. You work this way. The self you experience is only one possible composite interpretation of interactions between many neurons. They, in turn, a temporary arrangement of molecules with dreams and ideas of their own. Why, get enough of you grays in one room, and there's a consciousness entirely distinct from its components. I had a lovely chat with one over tea during an internship, until, of course, the movie let out, and initiating the breakdown of my good chum's definition sphere, and disintegration of its conceptual parameters back into conceptualized, unentangled individual perceptoids. Anything we use to cross this river is going to be part of someone. Is going to be part of a being to someone, whether or not our perception spheres overlap. Everything you are and everything you do brings perceptoids and conceptoids into and out of existence. It's just natural. Yeah, so we all go sooner or later anyway. In my case, sooner. Haha, may go out in style. Hey, is that a raft? You ought to launch me off that there cliff. That'll get their attention. Can somebody pull over and let me off the universe for a minute? Course we can't, you goof. We ain't no moths. You continue to protest, but your makeshift friend practically drags you to the cliff and plants himself in the raft. There seems to be no conceivable way to talk him out of this, and you finally give up. Fly Guy? Yeah, Ma? You're, doing a great job. Really great. I'm really proud. Yeah, I'm pretty cool. See you around. Not literally, but you know what I mean. As happy as it seems about the whole situation, you can't help but look away as the thing that just started calling you its mother is shoved unceremoniously off the edge. Yeah! Bring it on! This is brutal. Break the ledge. The worms are already finished eating by the time they disappear into the foggy depths below. You're left alone long enough to hammer one of the stakes into a fissure and drop the ledge down across the river. So that's it then. We created and killed somebody in the span of about 5 minutes for this. Maggie, if we did it all again, I mean, the flies, would he be back? Different dipterites, different situation. A collectivoid is a one-shot. Oh, this is really bothering you, isn't it? I've had to do a lot of weird stuff. I've had to kill a lot of weird stuff. None of it ever called me Mom, and none of it was just so I could walk across a rock, either. Bone. My bone. Ugh. I wasn't even sure there was such a thing as death anymore. I mean, total non-existence. Not while gallivanting around my own corpse like this. He was happy to do it, dear. He unexistalized doing what he loved. So, that really is what an unexistalizer does. Sure, unexistence in any form, any place, ever again. It's usually the norm for gray zoners, actually. Once the biofunctions shut down, you need branchination to keep germinating layers. Your nausea grows stronger as you navigate the narrow path, approaching a clearing in some sort of jagged cavern. Your head throbs as a strange little figure crosses your path. The hell is... Far harmed away, begush is the seeker find? The thing's buzzing, shrill words are more of a sensation than a sound. What? Looks like a friend of yours, Four Limbs. Just a mag boil. Sorry, varmints. Leak into zones where there's an unstable bleed. Nothing knows from where. What's a pig and do again? A red surprise tickles warmingly. What? What's it trying to say? Nothing. They ain't make no sense, not nowheres to nobody. On the plus side, we are definitely nearing something that shouldn't exist in our zone. What fun! The little creature retreats into the cavern as you approach. The entrance is littered with the remains of oddly identical skeletons. Oh! Fine. Whatever! I need to save this. This is going in my I'm using that. That's You descend into the ominous chasm with your friends and find a grotesque cavern of hollowed out bone tissue and moist, spongy marrow. Those pale little creatures scamper from the light at every turn. The chamber, or rather your head, echoes with their distant whispering. Two paths, neither's feeling worse than the other. Hold your horseflies, let me buzz the place. Buzz? We're not making and or murdering someone again, are we? No, nothing that fancy. The local dipterites will just shoot me a rough approximation of the residency. Just a moment. Maggie wolfs down a large chunk of butterscotch from her rations and scribbles on the wrapper with some partially melted hunks of licorice. We're the star here. The swarm's got some strong feelings around some parts, but your sentiments may vary. Never guessing any what might catch their interest.
go west first. You decide to check out the happy room just to the west, then return and investigate the large central room to the north. The chamber between is small, only one of you will fit through at a time. Crumpled next to a pile of bones is a brochure? Dr. Balmer's Retirement Preserves. Are you tired of devouring your own wold as you await inevitable self-destruction? We'll do it all for you. Continue west. You continue into the large room marked with a happy face. Your comrades file in behind you. You can see, and unfortunately smell, what got the flies so excited. The thing responsible for the mess peers at you with luminous eyes but does not attack. The end of a broken chain lies on the floor. The other end trails into another chamber. You're dwelling on that weird little brochure. By now, your friends have either heard or deduced that Dr. Balmer sent you on this errand, yet they're still helping you. You're not sure if you should talk about that or not. Head down and maybe have a chat about Dr. Balmer. You hop down the sloping hole into another large cavern. A strange object bobs ominously in a pool of decomposing juices but doesn't approach. As you and your friends poke around, currently keeping a safe distance from the pool, you decide to share the brochure you found and probe them a little. So, I found this pamphlet thing. What's the deal with this Balmer guy, anyway?
Harumph! That's the deal. Bit of a loudmouth about our inevitable destructuation, but a decent sort of type over tea. Real shiny-like.
The preserves. Not a bad place if you're into existing longer.
Aren't you?
We exist to decompose. We either extinguish ourselves as we extinguish our zones, the preserverators extinguish us first and repurpose it, or we agree to an extension and retirement, decomposing a steady stream of fresh material.
So why don't you?
Why should we? It may not be our preference to be terminated en masse by Balmer's soup, but it beats having to pick up and move just to drag out our biospan in a foreign environment.
That's it? You'll just roll over and die?
Everything's got eventually. May as well stay home to do it.
But what if there's some other way? Can't we stop him?
We would certainly consider a fourth option, but he has as much a right to pursue his purpose as we do, and he simply happens to be better and faster at it, that's all. Now, for all we know, this anomaly could threaten what little we have left, and he alone may have the means for neutralizing such a hazard. More importantly, cooperation with him is your only ticket out of here.
You got that right. You're all just so accustomed to death. Incredible deductive skills as always, worm.
Intermission! Happy anniversary!
Oh God, you again, where is this?
Can you believe it's been a whole year?
What's been a year?
Though only to them, of course.
Them?
Which them? And they've all been so patient with this arc. They deserve something special. Take it off, Bergs!
Oh.
Squelch!
Thanks for making insufficient medical practice. These conditions are deplorably unfavorable. A success for an entire year. Okay, so I think this is where we're gonna call it for Awful Hospital. This is where we're going to call it for Awful Hospital. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to pick back up in a few minutes playing another game. I think we're going to take a quick break and play Bolt Gun for an hour, because I would like to play Bolt Gun, and that will be less talking, and I'm going to get more water, lots more water, and maybe some honey for my tea, and we're going to continue streaming. So I will see y'all shortly. Alright, be back. Bye-bye.